Shameless for me seems to be one of the unsung boutique labels of the UK, one that never really gets talked about, but I find that almost every one of their releases are iconic, fantastic movies that need to be highlighted. The Frightened Woman is number 21 in the Shameless series. It's a film that I knew very little about going into it, and that's the way I like to go into some of these movies. I'm comfortable with Shameless and I know roughly what I'm going to get, and even with that expectation, I did not realise how fantastic and wonderful a movie I was getting with The Frightened Woman. Now, it's also called The Laughing Woman as well, and it's a wonderfully simplistic story. This one, we have a PR woman, Maria, and we have Dr. Sayre, a man who's going to be at the heart of this movie. And for most of the movie, it's going to be just these two actors performing their hearts out, doing some wonderful things, which is just... it's an essential pickup. Let's dive into this story.
It's you and all other women. You want to rule the world.
This is all about sexual dominance, persuasion, and a kind of darker underbelly of societal norms, as we follow Maria, a woman who kind of finds herself in a situation with Dr. Sayre. This is a man who seems to love his art, seems to revel in his photography and what he loves to do, and he takes pictures of women in degrading situations, looking as though they've been murdered, look as though they've been harmed. And once Maria is in his house, she finds that she's playing a cat and mouse game with someone that is incredibly serious about his games. So much so that he alludes to the fact that he has murdered several women.
It's only one of your many amusing weekends, isn't it? How many other women have you tortured? Tortured and killed, and then disposed of?
He has some sexual hang-ups of his own. He is deeply flawed as a character. He likes to take women home, play with them for the weekend, and then, at the moment of climax, kill them when he's had his pleasure. And there is a kind of sadistic nature in between Maria and Dr. Sayre, as he kind of allows her into the game of what they're going to do, and then throughout the rest of the movie we're kind of watching the tensions build as Maria is constantly put in situations where at any moment she could be taken out, where Dr. Sayre seems to be getting weirder with his requests or demands, and more brutal with the violence throughout this one.
You won't be able to make the slightest movement, you understand. I dare say you'll find it difficult to be able to breathe. You'll find, though, you can work your hands and eyes. In here, one can go absolutely mad.
And it's a game of dominance and submission that plays throughout the rest of the film, and it becomes fascinating because these two amazing performances at the heart of this one, it becomes kind of lurid and sleazy and disgusting, but there is something going on behind it. Everything is kind of revealed or let out at the end of this one. There are twists and turns throughout the final third that lead in an avenue that I wasn't expecting. And quite often with these kind of movies where you have a couple of characters in one location and they are doing similar things, almost repetitive, it can become tiresome. But here there is a definite weight and tension, and they change things around. They make it fresh midway through the movie and keep the viewer on your toes. It's full of startling images which are shocking. It's full of mental torture for the viewer and for our main character as we watch her put through some horrible things, struggling to find a way to survive this situation. I loved this movie. I just flat out was so captured by it. I just could not take my eyes away. I loved the performances. I loved the art that was situated throughout the movie. It's on the nose. It is so terribly clear what it's alluding to, but man, it's so colourful and jumps off, and it's such an impacting image. You'll see it if you watch the movie, which I wholeheartedly suggest you do. This is a terrific movie and I had a whale of a time with it. Now this version from Shameless is done from a new 4K scan and it looks phenomenal. It has both an Italian cut and an English cut, and this is the original cut, one of the rarest scenes that it says on here that Shameless have just put together, and kind of puts the film to where the director wanted it to be before certain things were cut out of it. It's got a great interview with the actress that plays Maria as well, and this is, again, it's January, it's an essential pickup, and it makes me excited to see what Shameless are going to release next, and also a bit sad that they don't release enough movies for my liking, especially when they're releasing things like this which are just truly wonderful. I can't rave about it highly enough. I would love to know your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. If you haven't, pick it up, it's terrific, and then you can tell me your thoughts. If you have seen it, let me know if you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff in the description box below, are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.